Hello, Sam-ariffic Science fans! Do you know what the longest living type of butterfly is? Not only is the species long-living, but in its long life, it sees more of the world than most people. Do you know what kind of butterfly it is, Sam-ariffic Science fans? Today, we're gonna unfold the world of Monarch Butterflies. One of my favorite facts about the monarch butterfly is that they are quite long-living, the longest living type of butterfly. The maximum lifespan of a monarch is about 8 months, but the average isn't quite that. To explain, I need to show you the life cycle of a monarch. September is the beginning of cold weather as the mother lays its eggs and dies. Its final act. These eggs hatch on a milkweed plant that is eaten by caterpillars for about 2 weeks. While the caterpillars fatten up, they eventually become chrysalis. After those 2 weeks are up, they shed their outer skin, beneath which is the chrysalis or cocoon. After approximately 10 days inside the chrysalis, a butterfly emerges. Then it immediately begins pumping wing fluid into its wings so that they work, and then it takes off, headed south to the butterfly's winter home, Mexico. The journey takes anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months, depending on several variables, such as where they hatched, whether the wind is in their favor or against them, etc. Not all monarchs have to face the biggest obstacle of the journey, but some do. The Great Lakes system, especially Lakes Michigan and Superior, because they're most in the way. Butterflies are designed specifically to be able to hold fuel in their bodies for long enough to cross the lakes. Then, if they don't run into any other predators, it's smooth sailing to Mexico, where they take a 4-month power nap after the exhausting flight. When they wake up, they begin the journey north. Very early into the journey, they lay an egg. That takes everything there is out of them, and they die. Their sons and daughters continue the journey north, but once they get home, they die too. Then, over the summer, there are several generations of butterflies, because if they aren't migrating, they only live for 2 to 6 weeks. Alright, now that we've talked about how they are and aren't the longest living butterflies, we can talk about the other stuff. First up, diet. While the monarchs are caterpillars, they munch on milkweed, which is actually poisonous to most other animals if consumed in large quantities like the caterpillars do. That's not really relevant to the coolest part of the monarch's diet that I'll mention in a second, but it's still interesting. Then, of course, during the 10 days inside the chrysalis, they aren't eating. But they also aren't eating as a butterfly either. You see, the only way for a monarch butterfly to collect fuel in it for its body is to be sucking up nectar with its proboscis, which is basically a giant straw attached to the butterfly. No solid food at all past the caterpillar phase. Now, it should go without saying, but when you're on a 4,800-kilometer journey like these butterflies, you're going to want a couple defenses, especially if you're a tiny, bite-sized insect. First up, and the most commonly used, is the erratic flight defense. It's exactly what it sounds like, having the group fly in all sorts of directions, left, right, forward, zigzaggy. All the ways. It's hard for an aerial-based predator to follow these movements. Second up is poisoning the predator. If a predator eats just one monarch, they'll puke. A lot. Have stomach problems. A lot. They'll feel so sick they'll never want to eat another monarch again. Now, I want to talk about how you can save monarch butterflies, whose population is unfortunately declining. As we have discussed, monarch caterpillars need milkweed to eat and live on, but milkweed is getting harder to find. So plant some milkweed, and also don't kill it if you see some on the side of the road. You can also build a butterfly garden, which is basically just a garden with a bunch of wildflowers. This is important to fuel the butterflies for their migration. If you live on the north side of the Great Lakes, especially if it's even better for you to do this, because they need lots of nectar to get across these massive bodies of water without getting to land. Anyway, that's about all for this video, Sam-ariffic Science fans. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.